YouTube, was good with y'all? It's your boy Justice coming back at y'all with another YouTube read, another collective energy read. I hope this finds y'all at a clarifying time in your day. Remember to take what resonates and discard the motherfucking rest. Energy is timeless. If you need a person with me, hit up Shamika-san with cnshamika@gmail.com. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Angels of the highest white light, please bestow upon me. With clear and concise channel messages for what the collective needs to hear today. Thank you and Ashe. There may be a sense of getting overthinking. You vibrate on a high frequency. I'm gonna wait on it. Check your blind spots. I'm getting more so thoughts, behavior patterns. I'm finna confirm on that. The world card, closing cycles with behavior patterns or choices that may signify. I'm gonna wait on that. Some sort of egotistical attachment. So whatever fuels that ego but is not giving you a sense of soulful thrill that you used to do or used to partake in, or this may not even be a habit, this could be an action, this could be a choice of words, this could be thought patterns, identity, ideals of self. There's a sense of closing out cycles or closing out these things or setting boundaries with whatever that represents. Connection to ancient Egypt. There's a deeper part of your soul that is ready to activate, but in order for it to activate, I think that's why the you vibrate at a high frequency came out in the beginning. For somebody specific, there's a sense of a need for your totality of your either activations, when I say activations, your potential to activate in your vessel. You have to be energetically ready. As these cords are flying away. So fight or flight may be significant. Those type of thought patterns for a couple of people. Industry sacrifice, I'm gonna wait on that too. This could be like past energy that may result in certain things that need to be either cut off, boundary set, or just needing to be perceived in terms of influence from certain situations that whatever this resonates with. I'm gonna wait on the industry sacrifice with page energy. Again, there's a need to go within, asking questions at this time in terms of perception for somebody. Like, I'm not even sure what that means. There's a need, what I'm getting, there's a need for perceptual understanding or understanding of energy that you're dealing with in some way, shape, or form, that you need to go deeper within. Your success story, I think this is your key to your success breakthrough energetically. Or so to speak, or to keep on moving forward also, because that could also represent somebody overthinking or some sense of stagnation is what I'm getting from a lack of movement in a said direction that you know you're supposed to be moving in. And this is kind of your reminder in terms of the vibrational alignment, in terms of you getting yourself together. So decibels don't work on you. That may tie to the industry sacrifice. Open your mind to the highest outcomes that are already there. I'm getting from that message, I think that's some energy from somebody's past that you may have gone through triggering experiences that put you in some sense of fight or flight, because they did come in terms of channeling. That is coming up to surface in terms of the energy, or some sense of like, I'm getting this energy that you may be dealing with this energy, you may have progressed past this energy, it may be coming back up. Everybody's at different points, but the yellow brick road, I think this is what you would call a pop quiz, so to speak, from spirit for some people. Kind of test your willingness or how much you've learned. Usually these things, these obstacles that seem like obstacles or resistance points that come up, especially when it's the same repeating patterns that we know we've gotten past. Sometimes it's going to be repeatedly thrown back at you to make sure that you capitalize on that understanding, knowing, or the breakthrough itself. When I say breakthrough, or the completion of that karmic cycle, habit, place, circumstance, person that you were supposed to either set boundaries with, cut off, deter. I'm getting more so like inner, and I'm not getting people outside. With short woman may be significant, and with the energy of that, I'm also getting, usually I get like a double meaning from those. A short woman may be significant for some people, but there's a sense of the test being about how you stand tall in whatever that femininity represents. Femininity may represent your creativity. You may be a creative talent. Femininity can represent your spirituality, your hygiene, and how you're taking care of yourself on an energetic level and physical level. Femininity could be you nurturing yourself in terms of basking in your self-love and your worthiness. But with celebrity status, that was a different energy. Many attacks are being sent out right now. Protect your energy. Celebrity status. Confirm that to me. You're a cult stalker. Maybe you have some dealings with some high-end people. And when I say high-end, it don't necessarily mean in worth and value, but in terms of resources, things like that, connections. Somebody I'm tapping into, maybe have family. There was somebody on my comments like a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a month ago, 2 months ago. Shout out to you if you're watching. But he was like, his family, like he grew up like with his family, like they worked in the White House, like whether it was Secret Service or whatever. So he knew about all this like energy I'm talking about. But that was significant too. But with the Hierophant energy, I think there's some sense of authority that you have, or that you're needing to kind of reaffirm back to self in terms of the vibration. There's some sense of you rising to the occasion in terms of past whatever this cycle is. This could be you just, there's some sense of a cycle that you're cutting loose of, or you've been cutting loose of for somebody I'm channeling, that is bringing you closer and closer to an authoritative position within yourself. So maybe you're getting closer to your higher self, is what the connections with ancient Egypt. What I take is usually some people may have those connections, but usually it's not that. Some people, it came back up, but that may be a significant message for a few people. But I'm getting with a higher self activation or potential, I'm looking at it like that in terms of how it can infuse into your energy. You have to be in a high vibration or high enough point of completion. And when I say completion, in terms of karmic cycles and you learning your past life regressions and what it is that makes you you, in terms of what that relativity is, in terms of your path and calling and what you are to do or not to do. With introspection, I think there's a sense of looking within at this time. I'm going to confirm on what that is with spiritual mastery. So there's a sense to look within in terms of these activations, and in terms of like there's so many different ways. I'm finding ways to how to like specify how I go at it, because these finite energy points, you can't really speak the words because it's just spoken word. In terms of energy is eternal, and we're like, word is kind of, you know what I mean? You can't really get everything, but with the energy that I'm speaking of for somebody, for a group of people that have their ways of going within and they understand their inner workings, even if you don't, going within in terms of finding that alignment, in terms of sitting with certain things, in terms of changing the energy. When I say changing the energy, that can be just, it can start off in thought forms. You know, fight or flight may be significant to affirm protection over yourself, safety. PTSD may be significant. You may resonate with that. This type of energy is interesting for me because it's different than anything I've channeled. But you are radiant. There's a sense of like, especially with PTSD, there can be a lack of perception or a misguided perception on self or an environment around self because of the past circumstances that may have jaded its perspectives in some way, or very much triggered it to a point to it's sensitive to the effects of these environments, places, dynamics, people. Sounds are significant. So sound may be significant. Maybe music is healing for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe music is therapeutic for you. Maybe sound healing is significant. Sound bowls may be significant. Maybe the sounds of nature may be significant for peace. Maybe you like to do that, but you defeated some odds coming up against you. That defeated a whole city coming up against you card is usually an odds card. I take that in a generalization of you defeated some sense of odds, whether that's within yourself, whether that's within. So if you resonate with PTSD, so it would be with that and with what is expected and what is, you know what I mean, things like that. There's some sense of you overriding that, being on the process of or doing that as we speak. It doesn't have to be PTSD. I'm just getting that kind of general theme. And with the Hermit energy, I'm getting this is like an often energy for somebody I'm picking up into, with the Emperor energy falling out. maybe you're coming out of a hermit phase in your life with the high priestess energy. There's a sense of you moving out of a hermit phase of your life when you are, for those people, there's a few people that are, relying on your intuition and moving in alignment, and not to let no, kind of jaded perceptions of what came before, what guided you into a hermit phase, to jade your perspectives anew on what's to be brought onto you in terms of what's to be reflected back to you. A lot of times the hermit represents the purification. I said this in a previous read, the art of purifying oneself, soul, body, spirit, consciousness. So something about that is supposed to reflect outwardly in whatever this represents for you. So your auric field is meant to bring rainbows and sunshines in people's days. So I think that's supposed to be reflected back to somebody as well. I think I'm getting, like, I was meaning to say this earlier, like, you vibrate on a higher frequency than you think, but I'm really getting, that was spiritual. Like, you really have a more vibrant frequency. You come off a lot more gracefully than you think. A lot of times with those type of mindsets, I don't want to say that word because it's a fucking label, you know what I mean? But people may resonate with that and may have been diagnosed with such conditions or things like that, right? It's like, resonates. But it can really make you sensitive to perceptions of self as well in regards to environments and places around you. So anxiety may be significant for somebody in terms of finding your ways to continuously be able to be present with that and cultivating with that, in terms of it's not always going to be there as much as it is, or as much as it was, or as much as it's going to be, or as, you know what I mean, it's going to fluctuate, and it's not always going to be there at all. This is just a significant message for somebody. We're working on the alchemy of which, right? And so focusing on the mindfulness and focusing on the serenity and peace, which is why I brought music up. You don't even have to be doing music, nothing like that. A few people are. Shout out to y'all. Send me something. shamikasun@gmail.com. Love to hear it. But music may be significant for finding resonance in nature may be significant in terms of your anxiety, but stress may be significant in terms of how that can get in the way of how you're viewing a situation, self, or context of a situation or self, especially with these type of conditions. It's just a need to be easy on yourself and others around you. And that's my last message. If you need a person with me, hit up Shamika-san with shamika@gmail.com. Very different energy I've picked up on. This is very different. But whoever you are, whoever resonates with some of these messages, kind of mindfulness, ease, deep breaths is significant. Sometimes we forget to breathe. That's significant for somebody. Water is significant too. So you don't let things build up in your body, which can fester more tension, and especially if you have anxiety or things like of which it can kind of influence that even more. So that's my last one, I promise. Gonna get on some personals, and it's your boy Justice. Peace out, y'all.